story a little bit in a couple different ways. The first is, some of you may have seen this before, it's often called the Iceberg model. So if you recognize it, it might not be new to you. This line represents what is visible to you. So when you think about the guy on the train, he shows up, and what you see is his behavior. It's what behavior that's showing up. Okay, that's all you know. What's under that, at the deepest level, are the core needs. Now remember, what are the core needs? Do you remember what they are, Aaron? Aaron Joy? You asked a question about them.
Oh, the lovable, powerful, contributing.
And connected. And connected. Yes. Very good. So this guy had some core needs that were not being met, right? And what happened is, he had a whole set of values and beliefs about the situation he was going through. And we're going to talk about that. Just remember this square, because this is about a person's private logic, which is what Adler would call private logic. And what their thoughts, they believe that their thoughts are facts, and that their intentions, and this is true of all of us, our intentions equal our results. So we're going to go into that a little more. So underneath this guy's behavior are his core needs, his values and beliefs, and the thoughts and feelings that come from his values and beliefs, and the way that he's trying to get those core needs met. So think about this even with a small child. They've got this need to feel powerful. They have certain beliefs and values around how they accomplish that. And then they create thoughts and feelings around that, okay? Now, when a person is effective at influencing somebody that's got a belief, positive or negative, but in this case we're talking misbehavior, the very first thing that they have to be able to do is establish trust. Okay? Now that means there are certain qualities and behaviors that we have to do to be able to do that, to create that rapport. And we have to have some inner fortitude and strength to be able to do that. So a lot of us aren't even necessarily real comfortable in doing that, but some of the things that go along with creating trust are being honest with people, being straightforward with them, which is very different than honesty. Honesty is just, like I don't lie or cheat on something, right? So that's honesty, but I might not be telling you everything. I might not being straightforward, saying there's an elephant in the room or the emperor has no clothes on. That's straightforward. And I need to know that I can be respectful. I need to be able to acknowledge people. I need to be able to disclose my own vulnerabilities. Those are the kinds of things that can build trust or create rapport. This is what the old man had, right? He could build that rapport. Once you have that, you have an opportunity to impact the person's thoughts and feelings at the thought and feeling and belief level, and help to identify and solve problems. So we will get to how does this have to do with redirect, okay? From there, we can actually facilitate change in the private logic itself, which is so much better than just getting an effect at the behavioral level, right? So we could have got the guy off the train and impacted his behavior and not necessarily impacted his values and beliefs. And once we impact at that level, it could have ripple effects on many, many places in a person's life. That's why we don't want to settle for impacting just the behavior. That's what so many people are satisfied with. Okay, after this one we'll change the thing. And what can happen then is the opportunity is there to satisfy core needs that the person has that we wouldn't otherwise be focused on helping to satisfy. Like I bet most of those people on the train weren't thinking about, well, I wonder how I can help this guy with his needs. Most people are not feeling that way when they're faced with pretty blatant misbehavior. And sometimes we don't do it well even when it's not so blatant, but that's a pretty good example. So what I would like for you guys to do is, there's 5 of you, is go ahead and form like a little group of 3 and a little group of 2, and we're going to just take a minute to change over the tape, and I'll give you an opportunity just to share anything that is coming up for you around thoughts about this, okay?